Hey everyone, it's Age of the Aquarius, and today I'm back with another chit chat. Get ready with me. I'm super excited about this because I'm going to start foraying into high school stories. This particular adventure starts at a kickback, and you know that nothing happens in high school until you get to the kickback. That's when all hell breaks loose. So per usual, things got crazy, and if you're interested in knowing what happened this time, please keep watching. So if I'm going to start a story about being in high school and going to a party, I feel like I have to have disclaimers. The main one was that I was not a hellion in high school. I was mildly bad. My parents can vouch for this. Mildly bad. So I was really not into the party scene anyway. I was kind of scared of the whole thing. So I was kind of considered that grandma of the group, which, I mean, I'll take it. That means I'm responsible, right? So I was probably around 17, and I have to say that I was the only person in my friends group who had a car. And this particular night, everyone was like, let's go to a kickback. And immediately, I'm so uncomfortable. I'm like, I don't want to be at this party. I don't want to be in a situation where the cops are going to show up or anything. And I cannot get away with it as it is. How am I going to just go to a party? You know, like, I need logistics. I don't sneak out. How am I going to just dip at a party with my car and just disappear for the night and come back later? That's not going to work. Straight from the jump, I was just like, please, can we not? But everyone was peer pressuring me and offering me incentives, which is like, you know, $3 of gas money per person. I wasn't intending on partying or anything like that. I was just way too paranoid about it, and I guess I was just driving my friends around to be nice. So I go and pick my friends up, and we all pull up to this party, and it's pretty hilarious because when you're that young and you have nothing else to do with your life, it's the event of the night. It could be just a random Friday night in so-and-so's house party. Kickback is the place to be, apparently. So when we finally get settled into the house, I'm looking around, checking the surroundings because, you know, grandma of the group. I want to make sure there's a fire extinguisher or a way out or anything else in case there's an emergency. And they just branch off and start their debauchery. I'm like, no, I'm going to stand here with all of my stuff with me. I'm not putting it down. Like, just the aura of the house. It was a typical high school kickback. It was hella dark, too dark. The music was so loud, so awful. Drinks everywhere. Everyone was yelling. I was like, this is a recipe for disaster. But I guess I can't say that, right? Because I'm the annoying friend. So before we really jump into the party, let me introduce the main characters. We have 3 main contenders in the story. First is my boyfriend. I'm going to call him Bowie because he looked like David Bowie. And then we have Miss K, and then we have Curly Q. A couple of my other friends went with me, but those are the main people. And Bowie actually drove himself, which will become important later in the saga. At this point, everyone branches off. My boyfriend goes and hangs out with his friends, and then the girls that I'm with go do their own thing, and I end up by myself on this random patio trying to strike up conversation with whoever will talk to me. And even the people who do talk to me, it's extremely awkward because, again, I'm sober Sally. So I'm just like, Jesus Christ, what am I going to do for this entire couple hours that we're here? And after a while, Curly Q came out onto the patio to talk to me, and we joined a group of people. And I think she just did that to be nice. Out of all the people I was with, she was the nicest, actually, of the entire friend group. And so I think she felt a little bad for me that I was pretty much the DD who was stuck in the situation that I really didn't want to be in. So we were out there for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, we see Miss K come in from the house. She walks up to me and she's like, hey girl, I need to use your car keys. I have to go get something out of the car that I left. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I hand them over. She goes and does whatever, and I just resume my conversation. And then later on, we're all kind of dispersing a little bit more throughout the house. And at this point, I'm starting to relax because I realize I've got to be there. I'm not leaving anytime soon. I might as well just suck it up. So I'm just trying to have fun and engage with other people, blah, blah, blah. Tell me why it felt like the moment that I started to relax, that's when shit hits the fan. It's like, can I just have 5 minutes? Just 5 minutes of peace? No? Okay. The cops bust in. It is like a scene out of a movie. Like I'm saying, it's just so unbelievable witnessing what's happening. They're just rolling in there. Stop, dropping, rolling, dipping, diving, and ducking like dodgeball. They have flashlights. People are screaming. It is just full tilt jungle boogie. A million things are going through my mind. The first one being, my parents don't know that I'm at a kickback. They think that I'm hanging out with my friends on the couch somewhere. The second being, oh no. The third being, how am I going to get past these cops without being arrested? And I'm going to get arrested for doing nothing. I am going to be arrested by association. I'm not even drunk. I'm not even having fun. And I'm just here at the wrong place, wrong time. So I'm like, what am I going to do? First instinct, of course you're going to run. Everybody else in the house is running. But let me note though, the way that everyone's just dropped everything and started running, and just the efficiency in the way that they're running, I'm thinking, was there a drill that I missed before I got to this kickback? Like, did someone do something on Thursday night where everyone who was going to attend the next night, ran a drill on how to get out of here in case the cops busted it out? Because I'm not privy and I don't know what the hell to do. So me and Curly Q decided to book it because we see there's no cops by the door. At this point, they're on the back patio and they're also going upstairs. So we see a window of opportunity and take it, of course. So we're outside on the gravel. There was this moment where I'm like looking at her, she's looking at me, and we have that moment of euphoria of like, we made it through, we're about to get home, nothing's gonna happen. Everyone else, sorry about it, but we made it out of this house unscathed, right? Wrong. There are two cops right in front of us with flashlights. They must have materialized like Dementors because they were not there a second ago. And we're just like, all right, it's over. I have no idea what I said, but the cop was like, hey, listen, y'all, if you leave right now, as in walk to your car, do not go back for anything, we are not going to say anything. And I look at Curly Q and I'm like, don't have to tell us twice. I'm like, all right, let's book it, let's go. And I reach down to my purse for my keys, and that's when I realized that they are not there, and that when Miss K went to the car, she did not return them, and I got really distracted with the party. So I'm like, all right, don't panic. I know where my keys are, at least. I know that she has them. Let's walk to my car, and then we'll call her when we get there, and we'll see where everyone else is at too, because we all got separated. So because of the fact that it's a kickback, there's no parking spaces in front of the house. So we had quite a little walk to do, and we walked to the very end of the neighborhood where we thought my car was parked, and lo and behold, there's no car there. Now, because of the situation within itself, I'm not really freaking out. I'm like, okay, I'm just disoriented. I'm flustered. We just escaped the police. All of our friends are missing. It's understandable that I might not realize that I parked somewhere else or something like that. So we keep looking for my car, and eventually we give up because it's not there. At this point, I'm not really that freaked out because I'm like, okay, understandable. The cops busted out the party. She has my keys. She knows where my car is. She's in it, and she's going to just pick us all up, and we're all going to ride away into the night back to our homes where we should have been in the first place. So me and Curly Q decide to give her a call. I call her on my phone first. She doesn't answer. Curly Q tries her. Moments later, Bowie shows up, and I'm really excited to see him because I'm happy that, my boyfriend's not arrested. And also I'm hoping that he'll tell me where Miss K went, and he can call her too, so we can all call her. So we're out there doing that, and no one can get a hold of her. It has been way too long at this point. I think we all sat there and called for about, 15 minutes. At this point, I'm thinking, well, the cops have busted out the party, sure, but eventually they're going to come out, and there's a lot of cops. So they're going to see us standing outside with our phones after they already let us go and told us to leave, and we're still there, 15 to 30 minutes later. It's not going to look good. It's not going to work. We could be still arrested. The story is not over. You know what I mean? So we need to get out of here. I'm like, okay, critical thinking, you guys. We are seniors in high school. We can put 3 brains together and figure this out. That's when my boyfriend's like, oh, hey, we drove separately. Drive my car. I'm like, OMG, of course. Wow. So I get in his car, we're all piling in, and I go to turn the engine and realize that he drives a stick shift, and I do not drive a stick shift. And of course, in his intoxicated state, he forgot to mention this fact. But ultimately, this means that we're at square one. We're stuck again. So we're sitting in his car looking at each other, and I'm like, all right, guys, what are we gonna do? No one knows where Miss K is with my vehicle. And this is when I start to have the presence of mind to be like, hey, this is beyond, oh, I got freaked out. Like, you technically stole my car. You stole a vehicle. The car that she is driving does not belong to her, and she's avoiding calls when we're in a really shitty situation. So, Grand Theft Auto, come get your girl. We're in the car talking back and forth, and we decide that we're just going to have to give up, that we have to throw in the towel, that we have messed up, and that we're going to have to call one of our parents. I'm like, no, it's not going to be my parents. I've already taken an L for this evening. I drove everyone over here when I didn't even want to, and now my vehicle has been taken by the Hamburglar. So I am done. You guys are going to have to call your parents. So eventually we decided it's best for Curly Q to call, because if Bowie calls, then he's going to get in trouble, which means that I'm not going to be able to see him thinking for the first time that night, you see? So we call her parents, and her mom decides to show up and pick us up. I think I'm at a stopping point with the eyeshadow, and I will clean up everything off camera, do the rest of my look, and then we can wrap up the story. Be right back. All right, guys, so I'm back with the final look. This is it. Okay, so to conclude this story, we ended up getting picked up, and she took us to a gas station, and we were in the parking lot of the gas station, stalker calling Miss K for like 30 minutes. And so after 30 minutes or so of calling her from like 5 different phones, she finally answers, and she's like, oh, I got scared. I ran away. The cops were there. I'm like, yeah. They were, and you couldn't have waited for me. You couldn't have just gotten to my car if you needed to, like whatever your reasoning is, gotten to my car, called me, and said, meet me down the street. You literally had to just dip off into outer space and leave me there at the party with my car in your possession. Okay, so I remember Miss K finally coming back. She pulled up at the gas station. She gave me the car keys. So I don't even know what I said to her. I don't even know how the rest of the night went. And that was it. And I got away with it. No one ever knew anything. I just played it cool as soon as I got in the house, and that was the end. All right, you guys, so I hope you enjoyed that story. And if you have a crazy one from high school, please leave it in the comment section. I'd love to read some and laugh myself. And next week, I will be back with Saturday Night Cocktails. It's going to get crazy as usual. It's going to be a good time, so don't miss it. And until then, I'm H of the Aquarius. Bye.